ED311 Language Arts Methods and Materials for Elementary Teachers was designed to give pre-service teachers the chance to become acquainted with teaching literacy in a classroom. Over the past semester, I have had the opportunity to work with and teach students from kindergarten to third grade. The experience has opened my eyes to the different elements of a lesson plan and everything that teachers must think about when preparing to teach. I have learned more about teaching this semester than I ever thought possible. In this presentation, I would like to share with you some of the in-class experiences I have had and how they help me meet the course objectives. The first objective I would like to discuss is develop an understanding of and an ability to implement a balanced literacy program based on sound research of learning theory and the reading and writing processes, including basic skills and strategies crucial to integrating the English language arts. Every Wednesday, I spent time in a kindergarten classroom. The classroom teacher used this time to implement a strategy we frequently discussed in class: literacy centers. I was able to observe the classroom setup and the selection and implementation of the centers. Because I was in a kindergarten class, they focused on a different letter of the alphabet every week. The goal was to build off the students' prior knowledge and increase their phonemic awareness and understanding of phonics one letter at a time. The centers were created by looking closely at the literacy content standards, assessing the needs of the class, and by creating a variety of tasks that would ideally reach out to students who learn in different ways. My strategy lesson gave me an opportunity to translate everything I had learned about literacy centers into action. After some research and brainstorming with a few seasoned teachers, I developed my own set of centers that consisted of both familiar tasks and new activities that I developed. The experience opened my eyes to the resources available to teachers and all of the work and dedication that goes into something that seems as simple as literacy centers. When I created my centers, I also met another course objective: identify and plan relevant instruction to develop print skills, vocabulary knowledge, and comprehension strategies in both the English language arts and content area subject matter. However, I was able to accomplish this with many of my other lessons as well. For example, when I planned my informational text lesson for first graders, I had to find a book that would be relevant and interesting to first grade students, but would still provide them with necessary information. I feel I was able to accomplish this task because my students remained visibly engaged throughout the entire story and were able to answer specific questions about the subject matter at the end of the lesson. The extension activity gave my first grade students a chance to do some hands-on learning relating to the informational text. The same planning and consideration was put into my third grade mini lesson. My partner and I assessed information that was relevant to the class's writing workshop at the time. We then chose to use a familiar story told out of order to explain the importance of a plot sequence. This brings me to another one of the course objectives. Select appropriate Michigan grade level objectives for the language arts and prepare lessons to meet those objectives that engage students. I used the Glickies as a jumping off point for every one of my lessons this semester. I made sure to check that the material was suitable for the grade level that I was working with, and they gave me an idea of how I needed to focus my lessons. While there are obvious places for improvement, I feel that all of my lessons were successful in both engaging the students and relaying the intended information. The last objective I would like to mention is, in my opinion, one of the most important. Develop the characteristics of a professional teacher, including exhibiting professional behavior at all times during class and in the field. Displaying high-quality literacy skills on all oral, visual, and written work, using appropriate study skills to complete course requirements, and using professional communication skills with peers, instructors, teachers, administrators, and parents. I feel that all of the coursework I completed in ED311 has allowed me to develop as a new teacher. It is reflected in the way I present myself and in the knowledge that I now hold.